It's February 2nd, 2017, Groundhog Day here in the States. I'm sitting with my dad, Jeremy Charles Jackson. We're looking at old photos and having some information given for posterity. So he has photos now of when he was 2 years old. So with delightful curls. Where's that one with the curls? Is it this one?
This one, I think.
Yeah, I'll show it in close up. It's sort of hard to see maybe, but anyway, he's with his older sister Jillian, who loves him dearly. Has loved him dearly. So, do you remember these photos, Dad?
Oh yes, this is the property 13 Ashmore Avenue. Was a sort of triangle. The base of the triangle was on the street, and then it narrowed into a corner, and you were looking at the corner where later on we had chickens.
For eggs.
For eggs, yeah. You want to talk about these too?
Yeah, and these photos here are, looks like everybody but Auntie Deborah, right? In this one?
Yeah, that's all I can tell.
Because there's
That's
six.
definitely Uncle John.
Yes.
And John was born in 43, and Deb was born in 48.
I think Aunt Margot, you can really see Cousin Ruth.
And that's Jillian, and Brandon, and Uncle Roger, looking like someone in the family. Actually, looks a bit like one of our cousins.
On which side?
On my father's side, I think. Let's see.
Those look like the ages. That's October 1946, it says.
Okay.
And this is just the boys. Would there have been a special occasion why you would have had photographs? Was that?
Probably, or by some fluke, someone in the larger family had a camera. It would have been a Brownie box camera, which are excellent as far as they went.
Yeah.
And then...
now, Ashmore Avenue, is this Ashmore Avenue?
This is Ashmore Avenue.
And then you moved to Circular Road.
Yeah. And if you were to project beyond Uncle Roger in this photograph, you would come to the Masons.
Hey Molly, this is Lucinda.
And who are the Masons?
Neighbours, not otherwise related. Yeah. Enough said, the better. That one is not of this sequence. This is in the southwest of France.
Oh, summer 1958 it says.
I was on a historical research trip with a professor from Leeds, Maurice Beresford, the author of The Lost Villages of England, which is a bestseller in its time. Okay.
But he was doing something in France.
No, I was. I'd been invited by Beresford to accompany him and a graduate student to photograph and otherwise memorialize villages, lost villages which were settled by the English, who owned more of the southwest of France than the French did in those days. So, anyway.
But was he a Cambridge professor that you knew?
No, I'd met him because when I was at grammar school, one of the teachers used to go each year to an archaeological dig in Yorkshire, and he would invite people in the class, in the history class, to go, and I went for a couple of years, and got invited for this other thing.
Very nice. Well, we might discover more photos, and we'll talk more about that. We can find more photos. There's photos here where this is again snapping forward. This is going to, right? You know, we'll look at Beausoleil photos. Tell us about Beausoleil, Dad.
When I graduated from Cambridge, I had an opportunity through Dr. Schaefer and Edith Schaefer to go to the Swiss Alps, where they had a Christian ministry, and teach English to the upper story, the older boys in the baccalaureate. And this is one of the views here, looking down into the Rhone Valley.
From Beausoleil
Um,
or from L'Abri?
That would have
Oh, it
been,
says Beausoleil balcony on the back,
yeah, okay,
1961.
that's where it was then.
So you would have
The
been,
name of the school was Beausoleil.
and you would have been 21, 1961.
Yeah.
April 1961.
No, that couldn't have been April.
Oh, it says
oh,
on the back.
61, yes, right. Good.
Right. Okay. And who are these
These
young men?
These young men are boys whom actually,
That's you with the
I-
tie on the far
yeah,
left.
I didn't teach. I was only a couple of years older than these boys, actually. The one with the stilts. I mean, what are these? Crutches.
Crutches. Oh, he has a broken.
I think he broke his
Foot or
leg or something. Next to here, here's Raymond. Not Raymond. Bruce Rodamore,
Okay.
with whom we kept contact for a while when we had moved to the States and he had gone home to the States. Next to him is Raymond, whose last name I can't forget. All I remember is that his father was a diamond merchant in Antwerp.
Wow.
Next to Bruce is Alex Olivero.
I was going to say, it looks Italian.
They were twins.
Or-
No, they're Cubans. Actually.
Cubans, okay.
Cubans. And they had left Cuba when Castro came in. They were twins. Alex and Steve. Okay.
And Steve's not there.
And we did a lot of things together because we're very similar age. And there I am looking fairly respectable. I forget why we're smiling.
Yeah, you look quite happy, despite the broken leg of Bruce.
Now
Yeah.
that photograph was taken in the Rhone Valley, and also in that similar location. This shot was taken in front of L'Abri, and the occasion was a visit to L'Abri from the Italian branch of L'Abri in Milan.
Oh, okay.
And that was Hervey Woodson, who headed up that work, and these other two guys were members of his church in Milan.
Were they Italian?
Hervey was not, the other two were.
Oh. So, says 1960 about. Dino, Harvey, and Antonio.
Ah, yeah, okay. I can't see
That's
this.
very dark.
It's very dark.
It says Jeremy, Mr. John Hankinson, and John.
What?
Mr. Hankinson?
Mr. Hankins, that would be in Mr. John. There's a John Hankinson who lived in Cheadle in England, and he had been the Sunday school superintendent for many years. But yet, I don't particularly recognise. Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, it looks like some occasion with you and maybe Uncle John. Maybe it was a Sunday school graduation of some sort, if he was a Sunday school. Anyway.
This one was under the Matterhorn
Wow.
in Switzerland, where we went for a 1 week holiday, the whole of L'Abri, which was a very small group at that point. And they, let's see, the people there, Riffelberg is the name of the spot. on the mountainside, and you can't see the people there, but I know them. One was Fritz Rohrer, who later became a Swiss Reformed pastor. There was Pamela, somebody whose name I only remember, Dr. Schaefer, and Mrs. Schaefer.
So you're skiing? Were you going skiing? Is that what you were doing?
I had one unfortunate experience skiing on the Matterhorn. They had a teleferique. It's one of those things where you have a T-bar, and you straddle the T-bar and held onto handles in front of you,
Right.
and let it pull you up the hill, up the mountainside, and then at the top it would turn around and you'd there drop off.
Right.
Unfortunately, I got on and somehow got tangled up with my ski pole. You have ski poles
Right.
as well, and the wire, the elastic metal wire, started raveling around the T-bar.
Oh dear.
And strained to bursting point, and finally I sort of departed from the. I left the thing. I sort of fell off, and the wire then, because it loosed from its tension, went round and round and round and round and round and round and round. And fortunately, there was enough distance behind me that no one saw from below, and enough distance ahead of me that no one saw from up high.
Right.
All they would have seen was eventually they're waiting for a passenger to come,
Right.
and all they see is a sort of elastic wire.
Because you broke it
I broke it. Yeah.
by mistake.
By
Somehow
mistake,
managed to
yeah,
make it.
yeah.
So you?
That was in the same place.
So you skied down and nobody said anything? I mean, you just skied down. Did you continue to ski that day or no?
I think actually I don't know what I did. I think I probably skied down. This was same site or a similar site, I think. That's me, of
Looks
course.
warm.
Yeah, it says
Because you're not wearing coats.
September '61. Yes, I remember. This is an old friend from Cheadle, England, Mike Amor, and this girl there was very attractive. Came from St. Louis. Her name was Peasy Otto.
What a name.
Next to Peasy Otto was Eric Bramhall, who came from Liverpool and who had been in my college class in
St. Cat's.
in Cambridge, St. Cat's. Hiking from Le Brie above Ozonda.
So they came to L'Abri or they came to visit you?
Well,
Let me show
Mike
you.
Amor and Eric Bramhall came to visit me. P.C. Otto was just
Down on the
visiting
far right.
Le Brie.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Then we have this is a small field they had at the school, Beausoleil,
Okay.
just playing football outside.
Did you play football there? Did you? You didn't.
I kicked the ball out, sure.
Yeah.
I was young and healthy. And
Is that the school behind it? This chalet?
No, that's not. This is a very, very nice boy, an American boy who's one of my classes, Marvin Gibson. His father was in the military down in the southern portions of Italy. He was a very, very nice boy. This is the fall of 1960.
So you started there at
I started there
Beausoleil in the.
in September, In September, roughly speaking, yeah.
I think we should.
This is a mutilated photograph. The waiter and Alex in two poses. Très compliqué.
Oh, because it was exposed over each other or something. So that's
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Please join us.
funny.
And then another one with pupils at Beausoleil. And, I'm telling someone off there, I think. And
And they
here's the
capture
boy
it.
blaming somebody else. This boy won a silver medal in the Olympics a few years later.
Where was he from?
He lived actually above the school, about another couple of miles up. He was a ski to school. He and his big brother every day.
Would ski to your school?
Yeah, would ski down the hill.
So they weren't boarders. I thought it was only boarders.
They were non-residential.
Oh, okay.
And so me, Didier Vassy, Didier French, and Tommy Blumenthal, and Mike Depviller, Michel Depviller.
He was a skier.
Actually, both he and his brother were skiers. I forget the details now.
So you're telling someone off? That's Dad on the far left. Looks like.
And
So that's the same photo we already.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
another copy,
it's another version of the same scene.
right?
Um,
And that's the same
yeah, that's the same.
grouping.
Yeah.
The quality of the photos a little bit off.
Then here's,
Strange.
this is later, post Beausoleil, I think, when that's your mother. We probably were in Lausanne. Didn't say.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Where it
Prob-
looks like
probably
a,
Lausanne.
probably Lausanne,
Yeah.
and it looks like there's a chair being carried. Is that your
Yeah,
chair?
I don't think so. No.
No, it's just someone.
Yeah.
Huh.
The boy here, the American class, Beausoleil, left to right, Cindy Martin, Tanya Marshall, Scarlett Walters, Mary Linhart, Gretchen Eisenhart, and Anne Linhart. Yeah. I didn't really know this was the younger children. I
So
taught
who?
children.
But that's you at the desk, isn't it?
Yeah,
At the
teacher,
front?
I'm the teacher there.
Oh.
So I was teaching children between the age of 6 and 15, all in the same classroom,
In the same classroom.
with
Wow.
completely inadequate textbooks.
Wow. So what were you teaching them, Dad? History?
Anything that they're supposed to know under the age of 10. Dennis McNair.
And they were all from different countries, right? Americans and
Yeah, they're
Europeans
American.
and.
Yeah.
That makes
But the American class, they were specifically taught exclusively in English.
Whereas, did you teach in?
I did teach 18 and 19-year-old French-speaking kids English literature.
That's Beausoleil.
Yeah.
Now these are. Here are wedding photos. We don't need to look at the wedding photos. This I wanted to double check. My understanding is that this is the photo that was sent. Right, that was sent to. I had to University of Pennsylvania, correct? In order for you to, didn't they require a photo? I feel like that might be the photo you once told me. They wanted a photo for the University of Pennsylvania when you applied for the the PhD program. I seem to think.
This is interesting. Me with Nicholas.
Right, Nicholas.
This would be my
Yeah,
son Nicholas.
right. Lucinda's caption overleaf.
Fred being Freddy.
So that might have been in Italy, right? Because he was born in Italy and was there for the first year. He looks young enough to be less than a year old, right?
No, Nicholas was born in
in Florence. When remember the whole VW
that's right.
bus
we were
story.
in Florence.
So that might have still been, or it could even have been.
We spent a few days. I don't know. My memory's too inaccurate.
Right, that's all right. So these are okay. These you definitely want to hear about. Although, what is this? Is this from your trip with in
Morris
France?
Beresford, yeah, that's Morris. These are corn, of course. Corn stalks.
So what were you doing by the corn stalks?
We just sort of
9 to 6, and then
we're just illustrating the height
Oh, okay, because they are pretty
of the corn.
right. Now these are photos from your family past.
All right, this is angle C. The pop mercifully not in the cow flop. Julian under duress. Jeremy in holiday happiness.
That's written, I think. That's Aunt Deborah's handwriting.
Yes it is.
Yeah.
And the reference to the cow flop is that this was a field below the cottage we rented for the week, and we'd play we'd play a simple game of cricket without stumps, but with bowling and so on. And what I used to do was I succeeded. You can only succeed once. I used to bowl the ball. There was a cow flop, which is sun-baked dropping from a cow,
Right.
which, as you know, the interior of such is rather sloppy. And what I did was bowl the ball to edge. He was batting, edge him closer and closer to the
Your
cow
father?
flop. Yeah,
Oh,
to the
that's
cow flop.
terrible, Dad.
Until eventually he put his heel into it and said, probably he would have said, "Confound it!" That was his usual expletive.
But you did that intentionally to him?
Yeah.
That's terrible, Dad.
children
Did your
love-
father have a sense of humor?
Yes.
Children love to see their parents discomfited. And there's
So it must have
also the one of Dad with his father on the beach. Dad was walking along with his dad on the beach, and his dad passed wind, and little Jeremy said, "You trumped, Dad." And that picture of
And he said, "How dare you!" This is
Feel free to sit down with
this
us,
is in
Mom.
Withington, Manchester. My father, and I think this was Julian Willard's.
Right. And that's much later, right?
This is either Jonathan